want to welcome you to Around the Globe with Dr. G. We are currently at Heathrow Airport in London, England. We are going to be flying to Cairo, Egypt, one of the most exciting and stunning places in the world. We are going to be visiting a few places the first time. The Nile River, a place that has a lot of history. We're then perhaps going to go to the Citadel. We'll keep you guessing even as we go along. Again, we want to welcome you to Around the Globe with Dr. G. We are flying to Cairo, Egypt on a very exciting trip. We landed safely in Cairo, Egypt, and we're excited to show you what this stunning and vibrant place is all about. So we're here in Cairo. This is the gentleman, Mr. Ashraf.
Thank you.
He's going to be the one that's going to take care of us and take us to most of the sites that we're going to go to. We are now headed to our hotel. We're going to be going to a couple of places tonight. We're going to see the famous Nile River, and we're also going to go to one of the most vibrant marketplaces that you've ever seen. We're going to get into the culture of this stunning and vibrant place. This is a very historical place, and it's a place rich with culture. There are so many things that we are going to see in the time that we're here. We're going to get both a historical perspective and a spiritual perspective of where we are. Of course, as you know, more than most other nations in the world, Egypt is even mentioned in the Bible many more times, perhaps next to the nation of Israel. And so it has a lot of biblical significance to it. This is a town, again, like I said, that is rich in culture. In Cairo, you also have one of the ancient wonders of the world, which is the Great Pyramids. We will spend some time at the pyramids as well. We're also going to be going to the Nile River. As you know, there's a lot of significance to the Nile River. We're going to see what that looks like today in comparison to the biblical times and what happened there. A lot of things that one can learn from this ancient history. The nation itself of Egypt has about 110 million people. It is one of the most populous places, nations in the continent of Africa. So it's really a populous area. Now, I want to talk a little bit about where the nation of Egypt is situated. It is actually in North Africa for the most part. By the eastern side of the nation, along the Sinai Peninsula, it is situated in the Middle East. And so it's one of those nations called the transcontinental nation because it merges with two continents, the continent of Asia and the continent of Africa at the same time. So you can imagine the merging of cultures of the two. So you're in for a very interesting time. We are finally at the River Nile. As I mentioned before, there is a lot of biblical significance to this river. This is where a lot of wonders happened. You recall when the Bible in the book of Exodus talks about one of the plagues that the Lord had descend on Pharaoh. The story goes like this. The Israelites were slaves in Egypt, and the Lord wanted to free them from bondage. And one of the signs when he said Moses and Aaron, one of the signs was that he was going to turn the river into blood. The River Nile, this is what we're talking about. We're right here at that river, the River Nile. Now, when you think about such things, I want you to think about your life. What if there was something in your life that you had to change? What if you had to be threatened by something in order to make that change? Some people don't make changes to their life unless there is a health crisis. Some people never bother about making any changes unless there is some kind of family crisis. Do we, like Pharaoh, have to wait until there's some kind of threat before we make a positive change? The story of Pharaoh is an extreme story of stubbornness. He was so stubborn, even when the Lord sent a number of plagues his way, he still held on. We don't want to be like Pharaoh. You don't need to have a river turn into blood before you make a change in your life. We are finally, yes, at our destination. As you can see beyond the horizons, you see the Great Pyramids. There's a lot of history there. But today, we just want to give you a short introduction into what we're going to be talking about. It was an adventurous drive from the airport. Cars, hectic, it was crazy. But we finally made it by the grace of God. And here we are. We are at a rooftop restaurant overlooking the Great Pyramids. Again, as I said, the history of the pyramids goes back thousands of years ago, even before Christ. In fact, according to history, this pyramids was here since 2500 BC, quite a long time. And again, we're gonna go further and take a look at what it really looks like. But just want to give you an introduction into what we're gonna be talking about. Once again, we are at the vibrant city of Cairo. We are actually now in a marketplace called el-Khalili bazaar or marketplace. It is a lot of activity that's going on here. And as you can see, there's a lot of buzzing, a lot of people, and a lot of things happening. There is a lot of culture in this area. this marketplace has been here for a long period of time. And you probably wonder, what is the significance of a marketplace? Why do communities gather at marketplaces? It's not just to sell goods, it's also that they may come together as brothers and sisters and join together in friendship. There are lots of people that don't have that community. While this may be very, very hectic here in Cairo, at least there is a sense of family and community. Of course, as I said, it's just a marketplace. It may be just a marketplace to sell goods, but it's beyond just selling goods. If you recall in the scriptures, there was a sort of marketplace that was meant to be a community. It's when Jesus went into a place called the synagogue. Sadly, in this synagogue, people had turned something that was supposed to be a place of community, they had turned it into something completely different. A place like this is supposed to bring people together and not to do otherwise. And so, again, we are happy to be here in Cairo, a vibrant city with a lot of community and a lot of activity. So again, when you're thinking about community and marketplaces, think a little bit deeper as to what that means to a person. This is Michael, by the way. Hey, how are you?
Nice. I'm fine.
That's good. Now, this is your shop.
Yeah, that's my 100-year-old shop. My
100
granddad
years
shop.
old.
Yes.
Wow. I mean, we are fascinated by this whole place. So if you don't mind just telling us, give us a little history of this marketplace and what's going on here.
Okay. The market here is very old. The first market in Egypt. We call it el-Khalili. You know el-Khalili?
El-Khalili?
Yeah, we call it el-Khalili. Market, we have like 5 or 6 market inside. Market for gold, market for souvenir for people, customer, guests, market for spices, market for essential oil or perfume, and market for clothes.
Okay.
And market for gold. Yeah. You understand?
Yeah.
That's the famous market in Egypt. Everybody, we come here because to see the old building, the first building in Egypt. You understand that?
So how did this all come about from the very beginning? Were there just a couple of people that decided, let's set up a place, and other people started to do the same? Or how did it all begin from the very beginning? I mean, what's that history?
No, here the people will try to work it.
Okay.
You understand? He tried to work it. It's not here in Egypt, it's not like America. America, if you don't have a job in the month, you get your money. But here, no.
Here you have to hustle.
Yeah, you have to kill yourself because to eat.
Okay.
Now, here, people is not very rich. You understand?
Yeah.
We don't have a help in the life. Do you know what you mean? We don't have help. No people, no government help.
I see.
You understand? Sorry.
Yeah.
The government tell you have to work because to eat. Safety for you. But work. Do your job. The people kill himself because he eat. That he tried to talk with tea, you understand? Because he wanna sell something. It's not he want to save tea.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
He want just to try to work.
I see. Well, here I am. Let's see what happens.
I do that.
Yeah.
You know why?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
many people from
Yeah.
America,
Yeah.
we understand the collagen.
Okay.
That's the real collagen.
Okay.
That's the
what that
natural
is.
collagen. Will
Okay.
remove the black spots, sunburn.
Yeah.
Will remove the acne.
No, your English is good. So here's Dr. G getting a facial here in Egypt. Can you believe it?
Of course. I show you now in the video. I show him the change.
So Michael is about to make me even more beautiful.
I show you. I don't love to talk. I love to show the people my
All right.
result.
All right. Well, again, this is Cairo, Egypt, at the el-Khalili marketplace. We're with Michael, who has been so kind and hospitable if you notice, nothing has exchanged hands. There's no money that has exchanged hands. Again, this is the culture of the people of Egypt that I truly love. In other places, everything is either about someone trying to grab something from you, someone trying to sell you something essentially. But we have actually gotten to talk to Michael for the last few minutes, and it's just been a pleasure as far as the conversation has gone. And so, you know, I'm really happy to be here in Cairo, Egypt. And one of the things that I want to talk about is this sense of community and hospitality. This here you would see with the people of Egypt. This is one thing that we all can learn. We can learn to be more hospitable towards one another. I didn't know Michael from Adam, but essentially we feel like we know each other now. Hey, I got a facial out of it.
Maybe I meet you. Maybe I meet you in another life. Bro.
Another life, yeah.
You believe that?
At the
Khalili, yes.
Khalili market.
Last street.
Okay, there we go. Now, there's something that I found that's really important here for us all to understand and to really get. If you notice, we've been here for quite some time, and already we've been talking to people that we didn't know from Adam, and all of a sudden it appears that we've known them for quite some time. This is the culture generally of the Middle East. Yes, Egypt is part of Africa and the Middle East, a transcontinental nation. One thing we can all learn is the sense of community and hospitality. My friend here, Michael, has been excellent from the time that we met him. We were just walking in the marketplace, and what do we have? We have this
hibiscus tea.
Hibiscus tea. Kind of reminds me of the blood of Jesus when we're having a communion. Again, that communion spells community, people coming together as one. It is a marketplace, but it's also a community.
Yeah.
It has been a fantastic day in Cairo. We've been at the Nile, we've been at the el-Khalili marketplace, and it's been a lot of fun. And so I'm looking forward to seeing you again for the next episode of Around the Globe with Dr. Jim.